There we go. Mic check. Mic. All right. You should be able to hear me now, right? All right. Mic problems. Mic problems. What's up, people? It's your man Black Cobra back once again. Yes, today with the Real Life Show. I know it's been a minute. You guys know what I'm going through, what I've been dealing with. So I am glad to be back hosting another show. Let's see here. Oh, what's up? What's up? Yes. Good to see everybody jumping in. Just wanted to have a little conversation because you guys know. Let me move this up a little bit. Try not to get that shot. That's good enough. You guys know all the new wheels that are coming out. It's bananas. It's absolutely bananas. It seems like this year is going wild with all of the wheels that we are getting. And I'm excited about that. Super excited. And I know you guys are too. So I'm going to give some people a little more time to get in. Give it a couple more minutes. I just ran in the house and ran down here. Hang on. All right. All right. There we go. There we go. All right, people. Yeah, trying to get myself situated here. Sorry. Um, so again, sorry I've been away for so long. I know that you guys enjoy the conversations as much as I do. We love talking to each other and talking about these crazy wheels that we love. So let's see here. So Simon, what's up, brother? Reed, what's going on? Vincent, Jose, Vinny, what's up? Mark, what's going on? David Mitchell, yeah. From the Philippines. All right. Good to see you, Mark. Glad you're in here. Mitchell. Yeah. Jose, my man. What's up, brother? I miss riding with you guys. Hopefully I can get that back soon. Let's see. New Zealand. Yes, Reed. What's up? Electras, what's up? I think you guys are Brazil, right? I think Electras. Um, Real talk, my man. Yeah, brother. I needed this too, bro. I needed this too. Yo, D Nice. What's up? Yeah, I can't choose. I hear you, real talk. How do you choose? And that's what today's show really is about. To just talk about this stuff and talk about, I mean, how do we make a decision? You know what I mean? When you really love this, how do you make a decision? Let's see, put in my pre-order for the S20 already, waiting for the specs. Oh man. Yo, really? The S20? That's tomorrow. They're gonna drop they're gonna do the unveiling, whatever, give all the specs and show. EVX is doing that live tomorrow. So that'll be hot. I'll be jumping in with them. So it should be hot. Great time to ride EUC. Yes, it is, man. Yo, thanks, brother. Thank you. I try to keep it rolling, man. Yo, hate mail. What's up? Cynthia May. The future is upon us. S20 Eagle. Okay. I see you, Cynthia. All right. Yo, yes. Uh, Love and respect from Scotland. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Where else you guys checking in from? I love the fact that this is worldwide. Man on the move. What's up? Good to see you, man. All right. The Euster. What's up? Idaho, baby. Yeah. Electric is from Brazil. Yeah. That's good. You guys are over there with my man there. Oh, man. I just forgot his name with the one doing all the suits. Oh, my goodness. I just forgot his name with the light suit. Looked like a video game or a warrior, or he looked like a Tron. Yeah, I'm trying to get him on the show. He's getting a translator so we can talk to him a little bit. Mike Mack, my man, what's up, Mike? Good to see you, brother. Mike's one of my saviors there, fellas. That Mike is one of the dudes who's riding with me the day that I fell. Took care of me. I appreciate you, Mike. He made sure that my wheel got picked up and taken care of. Him and Teddy, who he's since moved away, but They took care of me. I appreciate both of you brothers for that, because that was a horrible day for me, and you guys made it a lot easier by taking care of all my stuff for me, and I really appreciate that. And Mike has been checking in on me, and I salute you, Mike. I appreciate you, brother. Definitely. We're gonna ride again soon. We'll ride again soon. Simon says, I need all the new wheels. Not want, but need. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Listen, I don't know. Like, right, you can see now I got the Sherman and the V11 here, and I'm still waiting for my replacement um, updated Monster Pro, and that's it, because I sold the 16X. So but I would love to have all the new wheels back here. I would love it. But what up? Um, yeah, Leo said, "What's up? We're all here. What's up, Leo? Good to see you, brother. Hope to see you here in Los Angeles in October." Listen, Jose, I was definitely planning on going. Oh, real talk. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, definitely. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Jose, I was really hoping to go in October to California. That was my plan. You guys remember? If you remember before the accident, I was talking about that. But since the accident, I know that I can't go to California. Number one, I use all my sick time. Excuse me, because this happened off duty. So I used all my sick time. I have none. I even used some of my vacation time. So I really don't have time to take off to go anywhere. So I can't. I just started suffering from vertigo too a few days ago. So, and I can't even stay home. I got to keep going to work and trying to get myself treated in between, because I used all my sick time for the shoulder. And for an update, people, that's it. That's as high as I can lift it. I can't go any higher yet. When I go to therapy, they go like this with it, but I can't do that yet. But I'm rebuilding the nerves and muscles, so hopefully I'll be able to get it up further. It's still very sore, and I got like a knot here where the hardware is, but that just as an update, I'm recovering. I'm taking my time getting there, but nobody wanted me to get back on the wheel here, obviously. And I just had to let them know I'm sorry. Mentally, I had to get back. I needed to get back on. So that had to happen. But yeah, and the Los Angeles trip, that's not going to happen this year. And I'm really broken up about it, because that was my main focus this year. It was to get out to Cali and ride. But I mean, I'd have to fly out to Cali and ride and fly back within 5 days. And it would not be worth it, because I couldn't stay for the whole trip, and just would be too much money, and that would be every day that I have, and I can't risk that in case I had to stay out for family or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I don't see it happening. The cost of the ticket to go out there, and I don't see it happening. But I would love for it to happen. I haven't even been able to participate in a group ride here. I was trying to get to Boston for that ride, and I wasn't able to make that. I know it got postponed, and only 30 people showed up, but 30 people is a lot. And I would love to have been there. I went out for a ride here, my first ride on the Sherman that day, basically in honor of you guys, because I couldn't go to Boston, but I rode a little bit here. But that's just what happened. So why the S20 over the Abrams? The Abrams will be 116 volt with a reinforced rim. Honestly, I haven't seen the S20. Like I said, the unveiling's tomorrow. So when that is done tomorrow, I'll have a better idea. But right now, I think with everything, all the wheels that I've seen and had an idea of so far, I was leaning towards the Abrams as well. But I don't know. Now that the Hero, listen, if Gotway did their thing for once, because it looks like they finally redesigned, I don't know. The Hero might be the move. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Tomorrow we can say the Eagle has landed. Yeah, tomorrow we can, because we're going to get a good unveiling. If you guys weren't here a minute ago when I said that, tomorrow during a live stream with evX is going to be the unveiling of the S20. So I'll be I'm hopefully going to be able to jump in the show with him as long as the technology cooperates. And we'll see how that goes, but it should be amazing. So you guys tune in for that. Let's see. Cynthia said, I have the exact same chair as you. Yeah, I got it last year at Black Friday. Listen, so did I. And I love this chair. Let's see. Commander, high torque, 3600 watt battery is the best. Now, um, I don't know. I like the look of the Abrams so far. The Abrams has my attention for the look and the specs that it has. I know the battery wasn't as much as you would hope for, but so far that one I think has my attention. That and the Hero, but we'll see what tomorrow brings because I have a feeling tomorrow is going to be amazing. Um, Johnny said, "How much did I sell my 16X for? 1,600. I sold it for 1,600." But then I had a whole new motor, an upgraded motor that he bought also, and the seat, the pads, he got a lot with it, and he's a new rider, so I think he got a hell of a deal. I had new side panels ready for it, a new mud flap, all the stuff that I had not put on because I was like, hey, if people are gonna learn on this wheel and drop it, I'm not gonna put the new pieces on it until after that. So he got all new stuff. So yeah, 1,600. Let's see. Yeah. He said that. So D Nice said, hit that thumbs up button for the Black Cobra. Yeah, people. Thank you. Hit that. Yeah. And if somebody's not on here that you know, hit them up. Let them know. Jump on. The community's back together again, yeah, Jose, next year. Yeah, definitely, man. If I mean, there's more like a 75 to 80% chance I will not make it this year. But, if that's the actual case and I definitely don't make it, then yeah, next year is the focus. But I'm mad because that's what I said last year. When everybody went last year and I couldn't go, I was like, you know what? I am definitely making it next year. And I let everybody know I am definitely going. I had everything in the works. And then the circuit board crashed. I mean, the cutout on me, and there was nothing I could do about it. So the cards were stacked against me this year, which is, hey, it happens. I understand. Let's see. Top Gun quotes are welcome. I feel the need for speed. My favorite quote. Let's see. I know that feeling, brother, when you have a shoulder injury. It's no joke, people. Oh, definitely. It shocks your whole world. Like I never realized just doing that how big a deal that is. I was a big pull-up person. I love doing pull-ups and push-ups, and when I was ready to flex and get in shape, that's what I did mostly. And because of that, I had a lot of muscle built up in my shoulder, and I was like, it's great, I'm good. They said that's what made it hard for them to cut through and put it back together because it was very dense. And now all of that muscle and nerves and everything has to rebuild, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it's slow daily grind. Frustrating slow daily grind for someone who's never been sedentary. I don't think I've ever sat still a moment in my life. I'm always doing something, always on the move. What can I do next? Squirrel. What can I do next? That's just me. And now I got to chill a little bit. And it's tough because, just reaching for the microwave. My microwave is above my stove. Just reaching up for the microwave is a chore. It's like super hard. And I'm like, that can't be. So I'm hoping to rebuild this shoulder as much as I can. So the good news is in therapy, it hurts like hell, but they were able to crank it all the way back. They had it touching the table. I was like, ah! But I know there's a possibility. I just don't know how much my nerves and muscles will rebuild and allow me to do it, and how much this plate is going to give to allow me to do it. So we shall see. Anyway, enough about the bad injury. Let's see. What else we got? Yes. Okay. D Nice, how did you fall off? What happened, man? So D Nice, obviously you didn't see the other videos, but the Monster Pro, the circuit board quit. It simply failed. on a brand new Monster Pro that I only had a few days. I had it maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, and I rode it twice. And I thought I was doing good. I was loving the wheel, and I just started going because there was three of us, and I'm like, hey, you guys ready? And I just started moving, and as I started moving, the circuit board just quit. The wheel went completely dead, and it flipped completely upside down. So I went from up to down, upside down, and all my body weight came straight down on top of my shoulder. I didn't have time to put my hands out, nothing. Like normally, you guys who know you've fallen a lot because we've all taken tumbles. You slide forward. I had my wrist guards, my motorcycle gear, my full helmet. I had everything on, but I dumped straight down, and there was just no way to protect from that. All your body weight coming down on one part of your body, there's no way to protect from that. So it snapped, it dislocated down to here. The ball was down here, and then it snapped and broke in two places. So it was not pretty. But that's what happened. Let's see. Cynthia May said 4,100 is a no-go. On what? What was 4,100? 3,700 on the Abrams. So what I saw, is it because of where you are? Can you explain the Commander? I am confused on who makes it. Now, the Commander, as a matter of fact, did I have that? I thought I had that pulled up. The Commander, to me, it looked like it was coming from Veteran also. Hey, what's up, V? My girl V, my sister in the house. Good to see you, sis. And let's see. Oh, Real Talk said, do leave without pay and buy Ethereum for the Cali trip. I don't know what that is. Is that an insurance or something? But I could do leave without pay, but 5 members to my family, insurance comes out of that. Everything comes out of that. So then I would have to pay for the stuff that didn't get paid because I wasn't getting paid. And I'm like, nah, too much trouble. Let's see. Yes, D Nice, you're welcome, man. 4,100 for the Hero? That's the price? I didn't see that. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that's probably a no-go. 4,100 is the Gold Hero, I thought. Okay. Yeah. If that's the case, then yeah, that's a no-go for me too, then. And that's sad because I'm loving that wheel, definitely. Yo, EUC vibes, my man. Excuse me. Begode Commander, estimated release price $39.99, tentative specifications, choice of 20-inch street knobby tire, 3,600 watt, Samsung 21,700, 50 e-cells, our improved battery packs. Yes, definitely. Yeah, thanks for throwing the specs up because I was just about to look for them. If anybody else has the specs pulled up and you want to throw something in there that you thought was, something we should see, go ahead and throw that up. Because otherwise, I'm gonna pull up the Kuji video. So for the Hero, because I like the way the video it looks, it's amazing. So I'm gonna pull that up in a minute. 2,800 watt, 50 plus mile an hour max speed, available in either high speed or high torque. Motor types include fitted CNC pedals, 85-pound net weight. Yes, that all sounds amazing for the Commander. But again, all that, to me, we got to see how it rides, how it feels. Yeah, man. Thanks, Tommy. Good to be riding again, brother. Yo, James Mucklin, what's up, brother? Good to see you too. So Simon said the Hero has an aluminum frame, super strong. Yes, it's looking really good. That's the reason why I wanted to come on and talk, because honestly, so many good specs from so many wheels. It looks like they're listening, but as we know, we have to check to see if they really did, because renders are one thing, looks are one thing. Yo, Mickey, what's up, brother? evX in the house. Good to see you too, man. Yo. Let's see. EUC Vibe said, I think it's interesting E-Wheels is calling it the Begode Commander. and other people call it the Extreme Bull. Well, no, that's what it. Thank you for reminding me. The Extreme Bull, they were saying is who's making it, right? So I don't know. It's like that was weird to me too. Um, the Extreme, the Bull K4 or whatever, um, is the same people who made that, but that is also a big gold thing too. I'm not sure. Somebody else who was in direct contact, Mickey evX. Can you clarify that the 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 K4 is the same people who made the Commander? Now is that just another umbrella under Begode? Because eWheels is saying it as the Begode Commander, and initially I was under the impression it was made by Sherman, veteran rather. That's what I was thinking. So there's a couple of things that's throwing me for a loop. You know, Mickey said I'll be the judge of this commander. I'm the same way, Mickey. I'm like a lot of things sound great, but until we see it, until we really are able to ride it, or somebody's able to ride it and truly test it, then I'm like, okay, sounds good. Because everything sounds great until it's in effect. When it's in effect and it's really out there, okay, now I believe it. Now it's real. Um, so Marcio says, what do you think about the new statements of Gotway about batteries? Have you seen that? No, I didn't see that statement about battery yet. I know that the issues with the Sherman batteries, so they're no longer making the Sherman because the batteries are hard to get, but they're moving on to other wheels, so that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so Mickey says, I heard that it's Gotway's cousin, but it's being manufactured at Begode, and they are licensing the name Begode. Okay, all right, so they'll be under the Begode umbrella made by another company under their umbrella. That's kind of what I was saying, what I was thinking. So, um, hey, it is what it is. Gotway meaning Mr. Lin. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, all of it is the same. When you get something from them, you have to pay attention to it. You have to double check it, triple check it, because quality control is an issue. And that's what I'm worried about the Hero. It looks so amazing to me that they finally did a suspension wheel that I would like to get my hands on from Begode. But again, I love that it's redesigned. I love that they made a lot of changes. It does look like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all gotta agree with me. It looks like a love child between the S18 and the V11. That's what it looks like to me. A little bulkier shell, but the S18 and the V11, they put them together because it has that suspension of the S18, but it looks better. Like they did a better job of integrating it. At the same time, it has more body like the V11. So it looks like a love child between the two. And it looks like they took everything, the best of both, and stuck it together. I don't know if that's the case, but we shall see. So, hey, Livette. Francisco, what's up, both of you? Good to see you guys. Yeah. My favorite EUC couple over there. Yes. So, Adventure Man, split screen. Let's get Mickey on the show. Yeah, definitely. Again, we're doing a show tomorrow together. But Mickey, if you want to jump in right now, just let me know, brother. You can jump in. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Copy that and see if I can send it real quick. But yeah, you can definitely jump in. I usually put the link at the top. I didn't this time, but I can. Hang on. Yeah, so if you want to jump in, let me know, Mickey. But yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about the S20 tomorrow. So you're not going to see a lot tonight about the S20, at least because it's going to be revealed tomorrow. But, there's just so much that we are looking forward to. I don't even know. That video from Kuji. Oh, yeah, I want to pull that up. That video from Kuji, honestly, it had me like cheering. And I hate to say that, but I was so excited about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm loving it. Excuse me if I'm multitasking here. uh, I'm loving it, and I think that we are going to love it. But I can't be sure. I wasn't a big fan of the S20. I mean, the S18, sorry, just because of some of its limitations. But that's just, how I felt. I don't know. I didn't actually ride it. So I can only say, I can only say that I think I'm not a fan of it. Uh, there are many people who love the S18. I just wasn't one of them simply because of the limitations, and me being a big guy, I really didn't want to try that because I felt it would give out on me, especially if the Monster Pro, I had that issue with that. Going to the S18 just didn't seem right. But the Hero seems like much bulkier, girthier, rather. The stats are much stronger. So I think that would definitely be something I would be interested in. Let's see. So Mickey, I sent that to you on Messenger. If you decide you want to get in, just let me know. Hit it up. Um, so let's see. Where were we here? Adventure. Yes, yes. Thank you, Scar King. What's up, man? I appreciate you, brother. Let me scroll down to that. Good to see you. Good to see you, my man, Scar King. Always coming through. Yes, yes, yes. It's getting there, bro. It's getting there. It ain't healed yet. I'll give you guys the update as I gave the others. You can see I can't raise it myself higher than that right now. That's as high as I can raise it. To get it up here again is going to take me another 5-6 months probably. The muscles and nerves have the nerves have to regenerate. The muscles have to be strengthened. They cut into all those muscles and nerves and stuff. So it's going to be it's a hard road. It is a hard road. Like I was saying, my microwave is above my stove, so to reach up to the microwave and open the thing with this arm is like a challenge. So you can see that it's hard. It's hard. So hang on, people. My man Mickey. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Good to see you, Mickey. Good to see you. It's showing that you are in the green room. Let me see if I can bring him in, but it's not showing your mic. Hang on one second. Assign you there. Brings you in there. Give me a mic check, Mickey, because I
Check, check, check.
There we go. There we go, my man. What's up? So everybody, evX is in the house. The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only. So, I mean, you
Baby
hear all
face
this.
too. I should beard off. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm all rough here too. I going back to work was not easy, man. Not easy.
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, but so you were saying that that's the cousin. The commander is supposed to be under that cousin
Yeah,
umbrella.
that's the rumor I heard was that not like the corporate cousin, but the actual cousin of Mr. Lin at Gotway.
Oh,
Like, so his cousin was like, how hard could it be to start an EUC company? so he crafted the commander based on who knows what. I mean, you can guess, right? It looks like a love child of a bunch of wheels.
mm-hmm.
And the rumor is that it's being manufactured at the Gotway factory, and they're like selling it under their name. Again,
Mm-hmm.
don't quote me. This could be complete hearsay, is what I heard. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the best I got.
Well, I mean, look, the name alone, they picked a hell of a name. The commander. I love it. I
Yeah, it's interesting because nobody wanted to do names
yeah.
like before. They were all with the alphanumeric thing, and
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden, like Sherman did their thing, or Veteran did their thing with the Sherman, and then it was like so Chinese, man. Everyone's like, "Oh, I guess we should do it too." I tried, for what it's worth, I tried really hard to push In Motion to rename the V12. I wanted to name it the Bishop, and for a moment, Charles was down, but then he like realized that he had already made a purchase order for a bunch of boxes with the word V12 all over it, and was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Next time, bro." So,
But I bet you, right now he's thinking, "Damn, I should have went with it," because
I
everybody's
think,
going that route.
yeah,
You know?
I think for the V13 he'll do it, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So we're already working on that one.
I can tell you honestly, listening to what they're coming out with, the Abrams. I mean, Veteran already had it down anyway. You know, when they went with
Mhm.
Sherman and then they said Abrams, I'm like, listen, if their wheels are all gonna look like tanks, name like tanks, run like tanks, I'm all in. You know, so I think that's a good idea. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the Commander lives up to having a good name and having a really good wheel.
I mean, maybe. I just sort of like nowadays I'm like grumpy cat Chris Yim, where I just kind of like we'll see, you
Yeah.
know? Like I'm not holding out any
Mhm.
hopes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel the same way. I'm still having trouble because everybody loves the Monster Pro. Everybody's like really loving it. But for
Yeah.
me, when you even say Monster Pro, I have trouble because I so much damage from it. So I'm trying
Wait,
to,
what? What? Damn it.
yeah, yeah, wink, 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 yeah.
No, but
Oh,
I think, but interestingly enough, though, maybe it's in your favor that to me, the Abrams is trying to be a Monster Pro,
yes,
right? And I think
yeah.
that the Commander is trying to be a Sherman or a Monster Pro. I'm not really sure yet.
Something
So,
like that.
so they're all, for what it's worth, I think it's a bad move. You
You
know,
think so?
controversial. Yeah, I think almost unanimously everyone I've spoken to on this subject. I haven't spoke to you on it yet, but going back to the Abrams thing,
Yep.
poor move on their part to go bigger. Why go bigger and go more niche? You know what I mean? Like most people ride a smaller wheel with a smaller battery size and oftentimes a smaller wheel diameter. All of us agree they should have went 16.
Mm,
But unfortunately they went for the Monster Pro crowd, which is a very small crowd. Like
yeah.
it's a lot smaller than people think.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
that's my
guess,
controversial take.
yeah. Well, again, how much do you weigh?
185 or wait, no, 175. Oh gosh, I'm not that big yet.
Yeah, 227
Um,
right now. So there's a big difference
yeah.
between what you would say they should go for and I would, because for me, the Sherman is the smallest. That like having the V12, I mean the V11 rather, is to me small now because
Right. Yeah.
it's got a good size and height, but tire, motor, it's so if I fell off the biggest one, I'm like definitely don't want to ride smaller ones. I'm even more nervous than I
Yeah,
am.
but to be fair though, you experienced a thing that a lot of old school Gotway guys um, would have said to watch out for, right? So you didn't. It wasn't about size really. It was more like
No.
everyone always says, like within the first 50. Some guys even say the first 100 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you were probably not even being crazy, but
I
still,
was
like, how do you be careful when it just like
right.
completely throws you and it just
You
shuts
can't.
off?
You can't. You know what I
Yeah.
honestly said, and you guys may be seeing this coming soon. I said, you might see me on my treadmill with my wheel for the first 100 miles. You may see me on my treadmill because I guarantee you, I will be trying to do something like really innocuous. Because when I ride up the road that I was riding on, it's so
Hmm.
flat, so smooth, and I think about how slow I was going. I'm like, there was zero stress on that wheel, like zero
Right.
at the time, but it just quit, and I'm like,
Well,
it's
yeah.
scary.
Well, I mean, you have every right to have like PTSD about it,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah, it's hard.
if it's comforting to say, not to be a jerk, but thank God I didn't have as big of an injury.
Yeah,
Mine was almost non-existent. But when I bought my MCM5,
yeah.
I got it in the box, pulled it out the box, wrote it. Back then, my office was at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, so I wrote it downstairs to the mailroom. Came back, and I was like, "Oh, let me just like give it a little bit more gusto here and try the brakes out." I'm like indoors on a smooth, flat surface, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going maybe 10 miles an hour, and just kind of like hit the brakes a little harder to see like how much give does it have. It cut out, and it blew the motherboard. And I fell on my ass. I was wearing like no gear, and again, I wasn't going very fast. It was like a smooth floor. Thank God I
Yep.
wasn't on the asphalt or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, that's a real thing from
Yeah.
Galway over the years, you know, and
Mhm.
even like MCM5 has been around forever, but I guess they didn't really iterate all that much on in safety. A lot of these companies have been coasting, you know, so it's sad. So I hope that something like the Commander,
Yeah.
something like the Abrams, something like the S20, that they're all taking safety and reliability much more serious now.
Yeah. And honestly, one of the things that I realized also, oh, sorry about that, is that, well, I think, I don't know that it's the case, but I think, and I feel like it's because it was the motherboard from the previous versions. So the circuit board, it wasn't
Mm.
updated, and they did update to the blackboard, but I think they should have waited to push it out till they put the blackboards in it, because I feel like
But
that board itself was the one thing that wasn't updated.
the thing is, though, like the blackboards aren't the savior. Like I talked to all the manufacturer or the dealers, right? And
Right.
like I talked to Nick over at Yuko, and he's like, we're having quite a bit of problems with blackboards too.
Really?
You know, yeah. So I mean, everybody saw the blackboards come out. We're all hopefully you were all thinking this. Well, give me a free one then,
Yeah.
because
Of
it's like if this
course.
is like better and like safer, it can handle more power through it, then excuse me, pay up and give me a free one, because this is
Yep.
your fault for
That's
making
exactly.
a bad control board. But I didn't believe it. I don't think the blackboard offers anything that much more safe. I think it all comes back to just the coding of the ones and the zeros and how they all. It's you know it's a dance. All the pieces of the puzzle together make a very cohesive and safe or not safe wheel. And you know, their QC, a lot of people don't realize when we're saying, oh, the QC is a problem with all the companies. Of course it is, but that's kind of important. Like, for
Yeah.
example, the V12 came out finally, and the first 30 or 50 or 100 people have it now. And there's immediately in Portland, Oregon alone, there was like 3 people who had like a bad situation with their V12s, and they were asking like, "What? Why do you think this is?" I said, "Well, it's the problem with all these companies. If they focus in and laser in on like one to 3 wheels to create for influencers or whatever,
Hmm.
you know, if they don't screw that up, which shouldn't be hard, it is actually a huge jump to scale it up to thousands,
Hmm.
right? Because now they have all the parts sitting around. My dad told me this story about in the old days, like it was like GE or somebody was making like dryers or washing machines or something like that, and when they would stack the parts in the warehouse, there was big, large plastic parts of it that would be stacked up before they interjected it inside the whole metal enclosure,
Right.
and they couldn't figure out why it was going wrong when they would get into customers' hands, and it was because at the factory there was so much weight sitting on this plastic that it was warping and bending the stuff at the bottom,
Right.
and they didn't realize that till later. But these are like, so that anecdote though is like that kind of thing can happen with a bajillion, like it's not the same exactly, but like motors or
Yeah.
control boards or whatever, and they just don't have a really good grasp, any of these companies, on having Western level QC.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, because those types of issues are things that here we think about automatically. Now, maybe it's because our society here is more litigious. So the minute something goes wrong, we know what's going to happen. So we
Yeah.
try to think of every little thing. And they're focusing on getting it out, getting it out, getting it out. And it's like, okay, maybe somewhere in between, focus a little bit more on the
I
QC.
mean, well, that was like the joke of last year, right? For me, it was that Gotway put out 5 wheels when everybody
Crazy.
else put out one.
Crazy.
And in my eyes, all of them were a dud. I know some of you will be like, "No, I love X, Y, and Z wheel," but like all of them sucked
Yeah.
compared to all the other companies that focus on one wheel.
Yeah. I see
So,
what you're saying. All right, so let me throw up a couple of these. We'll zip through because a lot of people are popping the comments. So Mike was saying, so the Commander is not Leaper Kim wheel. If not, are they planning on making another wheel? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean the
They
Abrams.
yeah, they gotta the Abrams, but I mean I think you meant besides that, because they,
Oh,
like you
yeah.
said, they
Look,
should make a smaller wheel. I don't know
the
if they're
the
gonna
easy
focus.
the easy answer is, why would they not? I mean, they started a company. You know what I mean? They're here
Yep.
to be here, and they didn't exactly lose last year. Okay, they're quite the opposite. They won.
They
so
did.
So, and I actually have a more controversial view on the price point of some of these new wheels. I think China finally figured out capitalism, and they're ripping us off, to be
Yes.
honest. I
Yes.
think paying over 3,500 for any wheel is insane. Over three
2800 2800 I thought was should have been the bar. Like
Yeah,
28, so if you keep it under 3000 or even 29.99. But I'm like that got to be the cap, but they just
well,
continue to
of
climb,
course.
continue to climb. I'm like, "Come on, guys. That's
You could buy a
ridiculous."
car. You could buy a car. Listen, for $4,000, you can buy a Suron, you can buy an Onyx, you can
Yeah.
buy a Monday bike, you can buy a badass e-bike that'll get you further, and there's no risk of cutout.
Yep.
And so it's like we're losing the idea of micromobility.
Yeah.
I really honestly would like to say to people who want a bigger, more badass, huge tire, like it just seems like you just want a bike, like a motorcycle or something. It's fair enough. Like there's nothing wrong with you wanting that, but you obviously don't desire the micro mobility anymore, which is fine. Just accept that and trust me, man. I hang out with some of my best friends in the city are the bike guys. Those things are awesome. So
Yeah.
look at those.
But it's just but it's different. Honestly, like I said, I only look for the bigger badass wheels not because I want the biggest wheel in the block, because I want something that can carry my big ass, you know? And
Well,
I,
I mean,
I
that's the thing. So you need a powerful motor and you
yeah,
need a big enough battery to back it up.
yep,
So tomorrow you're going to see some of that.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but
and
uh,
that's the next question here. Someone says the S20 is getting introduced tomorrow. I wonder how it will stack up to the Hero, which seems like Bigod's version of an S20. Well, you will see tomorrow on the show that is going to be hosted by none other than Mickey EVX.
right. So we're gonna have King Song on the show. We're gonna have Irwin on the show, and I think you're gonna be excited to see what comes out. But also, I think like the Hero, we all. I think you said already. Honestly, like it's just like a mishmash of other wheels thrown together, typical Gotway kind of stuff. I think to me, it'll be if the Hero isn't a complete failure, it'll be a fine wheel, but it won't be a wheel that makes everyone go, "Yes, I need that in my life." I feel like we kind of at this point need that. I think the S20 will be that. I think you'll be like, yes. And the main point I would make is this is the second iteration, right? A lot of us said this is the first iteration of suspension last year, right? We were like skeptical, and then
Yeah.
then we're like, okay, it kind of works. Like I owned a V11.
Yep.
I rode the S18 for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They were okay. They weren't the best. You know what I mean? So now we're like, okay, enough time has passed. We are here at the second iteration. Now let's get serious.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're all looking for, honestly. And even though the Hero is like, okay, that's the second generation, it's really their first generation.
Yes.
So it's like, and that's why I look at it and I'm like, it looks really good, but it looks good because it looks like it's a combination. They took this and put it together, but it's their first stab at a suspension wheel. So
And
we'll see how they did.
it's very large. If you look at like when Kuji was riding it,
Yep.
how high it came up on his legs, it's very large for a smaller ish battery, and like the price point is astronomical.
Yeah.
I don't
I
I don't I don't know if that's just like China actually setting the base wholesale price very high, and so Jason's just doing his typical thing, or if Jason's off his rocker and he's just charging it because he's like, you know what, you idiots will pay it, so I'll charge it. It's very likely it's a combination of both, but I don't know.
that's just crazy. I didn't see that price point.
42,
Yeah, I'm
4,200.
that's nuts. That's nuts.
Oh, and to squash the rumors, by the way, the S20 is not. I don't think it's breaking 3,000. So
Okay, good.
let those other rumors die very quickly. People are still quoting it as if it's like real life. Like
Yeah, that's
that's not
crazy.
real.
That's crazy. Oh, wait. So V, you said you're heading out to the UK to ride with those guys. Okay. She's still on her
Nice.
world tour. Love it, V. Love it. Um, so let's see. EUC Vibe says EVX says S20 will blow the Hero out the water. We already knew the Hero would not have as good QC as the S20, but to hear this really makes me happy. I already placed the $100 down on the S20. All
Yeah,
right.
but Tommy, like, who probably smartly did this, all of you guys should just put an if you're excited about any of these wheels, put a pre-order on all of them, and then wait and see what we all review and see what's good, and then just
Yeah.
retract your pre-order for the ones you don't want. So
Hold on, hold on. While you saying that, let me just type away a minute. So Scar King, thanks a lot for the super chat, brother. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, he said armed healed. Yeah, um, I think I grabbed that one already. But I listen, not healed, but healing. um,
fair.
yeah, James Mucklin said he's really looking forward to the S20. Um,
Mhm.
the weight. Do you think the weight class and price will exclude most?
Is he talking about the S20?
I think so because that was the last wheel mentioned by James. Um, but I don't think the
No, I
weight.
mean S20. No,
Yeah, I don't think so. Right?
like I think weight, as far as like wheels weight, is a concern that we should all, the OEM should keep into consideration. But we're sort of like, even with the V12, it's like 64 pounds. Like, I think unfortunately these wheels aren't going to become like super light and also super powerful until the battery tech drastically
Yes.
improves. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, there's just no way around it.
I was just having that conversation with someone 2 days ago, and they're like, "Well, what do you think is gonna?" I said, honestly, until battery technology has been revamped, we're we're
Right.
reaching our limitation because we want, like you said, micro mobility. Well, to have micro mobility, you gotta downsize. You have to have something that's portable, and we are getting to the point where we're past portability. Like with this, especially with this arm now, like it did never bother me before because I mean I'm a good sized guy. I can lift what I need to. So I would grab
Right.
the Sherman with one hand and I'm like toting it up and down, and I'm like, well, I'm good. Now when I'm limited, I realize why other people are like, I ain't getting that. I see
Yeah.
why people have those reactions to it because when you're not as big or not as strong and you're trying to lift these wheels that are, it's limiting. It's very limiting. So battery
Sure.
technology is going to be so key. And I was thinking that Tesla, I'm like, they got to be on the verge of some battery breakthrough. And now with the whole Tesla crashes and everything, I don't know.
Even then, I think it'd be tough to integrate Tesla stuff at the same price points we're used to. We're just used to, and this is the other thing too. A lot of people, I learned a lot of stuff recently from this local guy here, Joel. He's a proper like electrical engineer. He's I've added some cool stuff to my Sherman that he's just gone in and just like while the wheels on, like soldering stuff, like a mad scientist. Like, he's a real deal, right? And like,
Wow.
he's taught me a lot of stuff that we all take as gospel that is not true. Like, there's so many different things people just assume about these wheels, about what's correct and what's the future and what's not. Like, I don't know. Like, so like the batteries, for example, like when they grab these batteries, you know, I know local bike guys here who build custom battery packs, right? So what they'll
Yep.
do is buy a bunch of the same cells, and then they'll put it together. And before they solder it all together and make a big, massive pack, they'll test all of them and just test for the good ones,
Right.
right? And then they use the good ones to make the pack. That's not what's happening with our EUCs. They buy a crap ton of cells and put them all in. So you
Right.
get what you get,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So because they like can't afford to like test for the good ones and then only pick those.
Huh.
So that's another reason why you might have a failure or something, or a thermal runaway, or whatever. Like, they just bought a bunch and they just installed them.
That's
That's
crazy.
just
That's
yeah.
crazy. I mean, I understand it and I can see it. It makes sense, but so
Tesla would never do that, for what it's
no,
worth.
never. So Real Talk says, what could S20 improve that much better than the other new wheels? Everything.
um well, I mean, kind of like we said before, this is their second go round at this specific suspension system that they introduced. So that's like, has more weight than you realize. Like, they have, and this is like them trying again and perfecting on what went wrong the first time. Where the other people bringing these other things to the market, they're either just like same old, or they're the first time at it.
Well, we shall see. Uh, Tommy said EVX got S20 on the board behind him. Why do I have the feeling he had this wheel since April? Well, he might have done that to us before. I don't know.
I do have some more videos on the V12 to put out, by the way, too. Just some updates on what it's been like living with the production model for like the last 4 or 5 months. So
Okay.
I need to get on that soon. I'll put it out there.
Definitely. Let's see. eBorder says, he says, that's if I can get through the COVID crap. Yeah, well, listen, getting through that is what we're all doing. Honestly, I think COVID was good, not good, but the change in our conditions outside was good for a lot of riders because we got to ride a lot with less people out. I saw a lot of people's videos like talking about that over the last year, which was great because then everybody comes back out and it's like, excuse me. It's not as fun. I know you guys are more used to that there in New York, squeezing in and out than we are. But
I mean, definitely you can see a huge change from like the last summer to this summer. Like everyone's back again. So it's like full house on the streets,
yeah, everything definitely has changed completely. So James Mucklin says, tell us about the S20, Mickey. Now, I know you don't want to say
Tomorrow
too much
morning.
today, right?
Yeah, we'll do. Listen, guys, what time is it? Like 7, 8 o'clock here, almost
Yep.
Eastern Standard Time. Like 12 hours or 13 hours from now, you'll have it.
Yeah.
Get
11
some more
o'clock
stuff.
tomorrow, we'll be talking about it. So, and just so you know, I'm going to be leaving and doing that and then going back. So, I cleared it, so we're good. Let's see. So V said, a fees will lend me a V12 there. They're trying to slow me
Nice.
down.
Well, I hope Afiz. Well, I'll say on that. I hope Afiz has a final production model he lends you, and I hope that he has the latest updated firmware because they
Uh-huh.
did actually make a lot. So everybody who's gotten a V12 doesn't have the firmware I have. I'm not being an elitist. I'm actually sad for them because I'm like, why don't you guys have this? I don't know why I didn't ship with the latest firmware, and
Yeah.
they're not releasing an official. I have like an unofficial like Mickey firmware, right?
Oh, wow.
So like I'm hoping, I keep asking them, when are you going to put out the new firmware with the stuff I have
Right.
to the public? It adds a lot. Like they've tuned the motor better. Like I'm able to like blow past 70 kilometers an hour. Like I've hit 44 miles an hour on my wheel, where on the other firmware that everybody else is on, it's like a struggle to like hit the top end, where
Uh,
they finally like, I was like, guys, it's a problem that you were telling everybody 70 kilometers an hour, and it's like a struggle to get there. Plus, you have tilt back, and your lift speed's higher than the RS. So what are we doing? Like, so finally, you can totally hit it, no problem.
okay. Well, I mean, it seems like there's
So
a lot of
fingers
good stuff
crossed for
there.
V
Yeah. Yeah, V should be good. I think she's gonna be good. She's staying with Brian over there, so she's gonna have some stuff to ride, I think.
for
Um,
sure.
so Francisco says, "Shh, I'm busy taking notes, enjoying the broadcast. Just ate a plate full of shrimp, taking a break from packing and planning my big WV trip. Okay,
West Virginia, I think.
yeah, okay, another trip.
Adventure Man is Brian, is the guy who lives in upstate New York.
Adventure Man. Oh yeah. Adventure
Yeah,
Man. He did the thing with you. Yeah. He was on the show. Yeah,
yeah,
forgot
that's
about
right.
that. Good to see you, Brian. Another trip. That's good. Um, E-Border said, slow you down. Talking about V, not possible.
Only
It,
thing that could slow her down was a car, apparently.
yeah. And that was only temporary.
Right, back at it.
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, if you guys have never ridden with V, she rides. She's just out, and she's light and fearless. So there's a good combination for a ride.
That's perfect for an EUC.
Yes, definitely. Oh man, we got a lot here. They don't want you to ride to look too slow. They are cheating. They don't want to look too slow. Uh, yeah, she said she'll be staying with Brian and his wife. Um, I was gonna say surprise Brian ain't here, but this is late for them. Uh, they're several
Yeah,
hours ahead
yeah.
of us. Yeah. Let's see. Shredding the streets of my V12. I don't even think of it as a 16-inch wheel. I'm riding this thing like a thin Sherman. That's EUC vibes. Tommy's a nut. He always got something to say.
Tommy the Hustler.
There you go. Oh, let's see. Francisco, my man, thanks again for that super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Will the weight class and price exclude most? That's what he asked earlier. I scrolled down to that. Yeah, and I think he was still talking about the S20, so I think we're gonna be
Oh,
good.
I think he texted me. He's talking about the bigger wheels coming out, like
Oh, okay.
the Abrams and the Commander.
Okay. I mean,
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I predict there'll be a lot less sales, and they're all going to be like, "Oh, we made a mistake."
well, I think there's gonna be a lot less sales because of the price.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yes, because of the price.
yeah, because the wheels themselves, the Abrams looks amazing.
There's no reason that should be more than 3,000.
No, not at all. I'm looking at it going, it looks amazing, but that's just cosmetics. You know, cosmetically, they did a good job designing it. It looks amazing. It makes me want to ride it so bad. Like, remember when the Sherman was first introduced? I was like, nah, bro, that's not it. Like, when I first saw it, that was my reaction to it. Not everybody has. Go ahead.
This is the thing, though, right? Because like everyone, including myself, thought it was ugly, but I don't really care what a wheel looks like. I know a lot of you out there do, but like it just matters the feeling it gives you, what it rides like, right? So like now, a lot of guys, it's like when you meet a really cool girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like who maybe is like a 7 out of 10. She's not quite the dime piece you want, right? Like.
Mm-hmm.
Then, but she's super cool. You're like, oh, she's now a 10 in my book because,
Yeah.
right? So the
Yep.
Sherman was that. Everybody was like, it's kind of ugly or whatever. But so now you have that as a baseline. So the Abrams is a sort of like slicker, like one wheel pint iteration of the Sherman. But if I would wager if you saw that one first, the Abrams, you'd be like, I don't know, it kind of looks strange. Like it looks kind of crazy.
Well, look, you just put that perfectly, by the way, but I feel exactly the same because honestly, I look back at the video of the Sherman when I first saw it, and I'm like, my reaction, and I remember my feeling, and I was like, this is not a good looking wheel. I'm like, I don't know what they were thinking of, and then I went and saw it and rode it, and I'm like, this is kind of amazing. And then the more I saw it, the more I rode it, I'm like, this wheel is the best wheel ever made. Like, and I'm like, with the tank look, the roll bar, the design. Like, I look at it now and I'm like, damn, that wheel's sexy. I'm like, this is the same exact wheel.
And it gave way to, the design of the Commander would have never come around.
Nope.
Had that not existed, right? Like everybody would have been like, oh, what is this? So like the whole like looks thing is so relative to the year, the person, and how does it make you feel?
Yeah, legitimately, because honestly, a purchase is just that. Like, you're buying for reasons, but part of that reason is how it makes you feel. Like, do you feel good about buying this? And at these price points, your ass better feel good about buying it because these are car prices.
I mean, this is why I get so many comments on my social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or whatever, people like they're in like turmoil about trying to choose a wheel, and they're like hoping I can be Jesus Christ to help them, and I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah,
like you got to figure it out on your own.
I get the same thing. I get questions on questions on questions. What do you think? Which one? Which way? Which one? And I say the same thing you probably say. I'm like, well, it depends on what you're looking for, and it's really dependent on you, because a wheel that's perfect for me, it may not be perfect for you. And all I do is give them the same things we talk about. I'm like, well, certain wheels are better if you're heavier. Certain wheels are better if you're off-road or if you're a street rider. Certain wheels are better if you want to jump. Like, there's all these different parameters that factor into a wheel choice. And, it's really your feeling and what works for you. Some people absolutely hate the Sherman and just are never going to get one, and then there's others that it grew on and they can't see themselves without it, because it just of certain things that it does. So it's
yeah. I mean, the best advice any of us can give anybody, whether you're a longtime rider like me or you're one of the newer people who are on TikTok or whatever, like the best thing is to stop buying first editions
Yeah.
and wait till people in your neighborhood get one. Let the other idiots buy the first batch, and then you try it out, and that. But okay, even beyond that, like if you're privileged enough to live in a city like New York or Chicago or LA or whatever the
Mhm.
cities or wherever Chooch is that tend to get demo wheels,
Yep.
um, dude, ride them. Go to that big event that everyone puts on. Like
Try it out.
whoever does the West Coast stuff, they'll
Yep.
put on a big event to try. They're going to get the Abrams first, so the West Coast is going to get this time. So go out and try that thing. If there's 55 people there, mark your territory, man. Go try that thing and make sure you
Mhm.
can figure out if you
Mhm.
like it or not, and give it time. When I first tried the 16X, back then there was a lot less of us in New York that were riding that seriously. And I tried it and rode it quite a few blocks. And I was like, hey, can I just keep riding this? And Christiane was like, yeah, I don't care. Sure. And I was determined to just ride it till I felt comfortable on it. And then it just like clicked like, yep, I want this wheel. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So, but there's some wheels that, you can't figure it out. So you just give it a shot. So definitely try to ride them. And if you miss a demo, don't have a demo, wait till first round comes through, try your buddies and see if you like it.
Yeah, definitely. Because until I went to the Sherman demo, I was 100% sure I would never get that. 100% sure. And
Right.
and I said I'm only going because I love being around our community. I love riding the wheels and trying them, and I love talking about it. Like I get
Sure.
joy out of the conversations that we have about these wheels. And because of that, I said I want to lend my excitement and my enthusiasm to this. So I want to go and ride. I rode it and I'm like, oh shit. Uh oh shit. Like I'm like, but if I hadn't gone to that demo, I wouldn't have been so invested in trying to get in that test,
And
line
I,
of
and and you still have the Sherman, right? You
yes,
have the
yes.
demo Sherman that New
The
York
yeah,
broke, quote
the
unquote.
beginning, yeah, the one that got beat on and beat the hell or whatever. And
You got
thanks to
lucky. You got like a Marty wheel,
yeah, I
but for
did. I got
free.
the Marty wheel. And no, I mean it's I mean the bars are still bent up and it's in rough shape, but honestly I thank everybody because it was already tested, broken, and repaired, and I feel a lot more secure knowing that it was
You have
put
a unicorn for sure. You've
yes,
got a
yes.
unicorn wheel.
Yeah. And I thank again E-Wheels, Jason at E-Wheels for even putting me in the lineup because I was newer to the game than the rest of you guys, and he put me in the lineup, and I really appreciate Jason for giving me the opportunity because it really gave me the opportunity to see firsthand how things work and what I was looking for, and how it gave me an idea of how to tell people to go. I'm like, look, these are different routes you can go. You don't have to just get what everybody tells you to get. I mean, you have
Mm.
opportunities, but being able to test that first, then getting the test wheel, then deciding that yes, this is definitely what I would want, and being able to tell people that hey, like you just said, you gotta ride a wheel first, people. You can't just buy it. Oh, I want that one. You're not gonna know. Not every wheel rides the same. You know.
I mean, there are some guys who know how to do it. At this point, there are guys who don't go through the dealers. So what they'll do is they'll buy direct from AliExpress from China,
Mhm.
and so there's a guy here in New York who he bought the Sherman way before anyone got it. Right, so he had first batch from AliExpress. What that offered him is if he didn't like it, he can immediately sell it off. Right,
Yeah.
and he'll make a profit off of it because he'll
True.
sell it right when people want it, and he's literally has it on the ground in the U.S. So you could go that route if you wanted, if you're really that impatient. But there's always going to be people who are like, I don't care, like, oops, like Tommy, who's just going to
Yeah.
put money down on whatever and he'll buy the wheel.
Well, I do want to say one of the things that I have decided in this is I'm not going to be a test dummy anymore. I promised my wife that at the very least I would wait for people to ride them, then I would get it and ride it. Just because,
So you're committing to at least second batch.
yes, yes,
Okay.
only because I couldn't promise her I'm not going to ride, and that's what she wanted, and all my friends want. And I'm like, guys, that's not me. I don't quit anything, and I love this too much to tell you I'm not going to ride. I would just be lying to you. So I'm like, I love this. I will be doing this. I will get better gear. I already have so much gear, but I will keep getting stuff that I think will help, and I'll keep wearing it, and I'll keep riding safe, but I'm going to ride.
Right.
It's just, it is what it is. I'm going to ride, especially because for heavier people, I always get the questions because I can't even count how many people are like, dude, I'm like your weight. Dude, I'm around your size. And they're asking me all those questions because no one can answer that but
Mm.
people like me. There's not a whole lot of people as heavy as I am that ride. So, and if they
Yeah.
are, they're not on YouTube, so they don't share as much. And I'm like, okay, so I still want to share with that group of people. I still want to give them my opinions and let them know what I think. Not that it's gonna be right for everybody, because my opinion is just my opinion. But I love representing a group, and I appreciate the fact that I can give that back because this community has been supportive of me, and I appreciate all of you guys. So I want to continue to do that, but not first batch. I That's the only thing I could think of to be safer. So hopefully I don't run into the same
Right.
incident. You know.
I mean, like same thing with like the V12. Like I have a wheel that was created for me, which not very few humans will have that opportunity. So
Mm-hmm.
people were asking like, "Oh, what about the first batch? Why is there a few issues?" I'm like, "It's guaranteed, guaranteed with any wheel. Doesn't matter how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole scaling up thing." And if you knew, like, Afiz told me this anecdote one time. I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but I am. So when he visited the Gotway factory, like he went and met with Mr. Lin, and then they hung out, and then like they went out for like an afternoon ride or something, and then they came back, and then they went to dinner. He took them to dinner, and then they went for like a night ride, and then they came back to the factory again, and the old grandmas were still there building our unicycles. Like, just to give you an idea of like the sort of sweatshop environment this is happening in, and I'm sorry to be real for a minute, but like if that doesn't contribute to like the QC errors, I don't know what does. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why are they working so late to do this stuff? Like, a lot of companies, not just a Chinese company, but a lot of American companies will definitely like find a way to save a buck to try to produce their thing faster, quicker,
Yes.
out to the market. So it seems like in this scenario, like they're probably understaffed and overworked, typical kind of thing,
Yep.
which will lead to QC errors. Like when I got the uh, MSX Pro, or we're calling it the MSM Pro, whatever now, but the pedals were like this, and a lot of guys were like, "Oh, you're being a baby. That's just how they are on a Gotway." I'm like, no,
No.
like I know what, like it's ridiculous. But the whole idea behind that was like, okay, so they knew they were sending this to me, right? Like that was
Mm-hmm.
not. It came from Gotway to me directly. Not one human at that factory before they packaged it up and sent it to me decided to like just flip them open for half a second and realize like, hey, that angle looks weird, or stand on it, like, or ride it. Heck, I don't care if there's miles on the wheel you're sending me to like test to make video content about.
Right.
Please do ride this
We
thing.
we don't care. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
on it. Honestly, there's two things though. Number one, the feel, smell, and whole thing about opening a new wheel is amazing. I love it. The experience was like, I'm like, ooh, kid in a candy store, kid on Christmas. I love it.
Right.
But if you're testing wheels, you feel safer that it's already been ridden because you feel like, okay, it's closer to past that break-in point or past that failure point, and
Right.
you're hoping that, okay, it's not going to fail on me at least. So you want a little mileage on it. That's
I mean,
better.
there's also just this sort of like other underbelly thing, which is like all of us who've been riding a long time know it's not like if you're going to cut out or if you're going to have a board failure, it's when. I
Yeah.
mean, you
So
obviously know this now.
yeah.
So
Well,
it's like I don't. You're such a like robust human that I tend to think that your damage done is just because you're like a well built guy who has a lot of mass, right? So that's my assumption. So I'm not sure like how you prevent that kind of thing in the future unless you take some like Krav Maga classes or something and learn how to
well, that's
like,
that's the thing is, like, I am already well trained in many arts, and like I know how to
right.
fall, I know how to roll out, I know how to slide, I know how to do all kinds of things, and I'm like, There was no time for none of that. It was a split second. Like if I went to you and I said, "Hey, Mickey," before I said, "Hey," I had already fallen. Like, it was, it was so
Right.
fast. There was no beep, no tilt, no nothing, just off. And I
I
was
mean, I
like,
think that's the case,
yeah, you can't, there's no accounting for that. And the injury was, again, 1 in a million. The doctor said, like I said, he called in backup while he was doing my surgery because he said it was that difficult. And he said it was the worst shoulder injury he's ever seen. The physical therapy place said the same thing. They were waiting for me to show up because it's the worst shoulder injury. And I'm like, yeah, but he's like, you couldn't do that again if I paid you to. It, like, you just kind of fell perfectly the way your build, your musculature, your everything factored into the way that you got injured. It's like, he's like, and he was surprised because he said, because you obviously do. I said, yeah, I do a lot of pull-ups and push-ups. He's like, yeah. He's like, because you're dense, like, and
right.
he's like, so I'm kind of surprised you broke, but he said, but it is what it is. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So
Well, I think all the Incredible Hulk muscle you have
yeah,
clearly doesn't protect you from bone damage.
no, nothing does apparently. Because I'm like, I always felt like I'm a slide and yeah, no, nothing. So there was a lot of people doing super chats, and I appreciate that. We're gonna scroll down to some of them. I'm just gonna click through some real quick. Mark Pedroza said, "Commander is an EXN with 3600 watt battery. That's it, but better waterproofing." Point of view.
How, who says there's better waterproofing?
That's what I said.
How do we know that?
I don't actually, because the EXN we took apart when we did the waterproofing on the Monster Pros, because it was a whole room full of Monster Pros getting waterproofed. We also took apart the EXN to waterproof it, and it did seem a little bit better, but it was just because it's different. It's not the same shell, so it was only a hair better, but it is what it is, Okay, UC Vibes. I disagree. EVX, bigger is better. That's the one thing that made the Monster better than the Sherman. The Abrams is going to be comfortable, seated riding beast. Okay. I think it's a point of view. I do. I think it's subjective. Depends on who's saying it and who's riding it.
For sure.
Mark Pedroza said, I like my Pro better than my Sherman, I think is what he was saying there. Yeah.
I think it comes down to ride style too, Like,
well,
I whip my Sherman around like it's an MSX.
But I think if you love the Sherman, you'll love the Monster Pro. For most people, not everyone, but most people, because it did feel to me like a step up. I was in love the day I was riding. I couldn't have been more in love, to the point where when Teddy, who was with me, asked to ride because he had a Monster Pro on the way. He asked to ride it, and I said, okay. I really didn't want to let him ride it because I didn't want to get off it. You
should have let him ride it a little more.
You honestly, Mickey, 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes earlier, I had gotten back on it, like a few feet, and then it cut off. Like I said that, damn, if he had fallen off it, he probably wouldn't have gotten as hurt.
Better.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gotten as hurt. But I would have felt like crap. But I wouldn't be broken, and he probably wouldn't be.
I mean, you would have felt like crap for like a week. And you wouldn't have had to take off of work.
No.
And you wouldn't have gotten a lot of shit from your wife.
Yep. And I would have had a new Sherman, Monster Pro, because he had one on the way, so I would have had his. But, it is what it is. So thank you, Livette, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. So, guys, if you're asking a question about the S20, I am going to just skip over it because, honestly, tomorrow is going to be the show for that. Not even a full 24 hours from now. So hang on to your questions for the S20. We will talk about that more tomorrow. I was going to show the video with Kuji riding the Hero, but I don't think I'm going to do all that. Nikki jumping in was much better. I appreciate that, brother.
I think tomorrow too, you're gonna find out more than just specs. I think it's important, right? We're gonna talk
Yes.
more about the lineage, why this came about, how it came about, what it means to King Song, all that kind of stuff. Like really dive into it's like behind the scenes kind of like live stream edition, but kind of like a documentary, but just kind of laid
There we go.
back.
Okay, so we're gonna pull the curtain tomorrow. Tomorrow the curtain is gonna be pulled and it's gonna be shown. You guys are gonna see the underskirt, the underbelly. So we'll. Okay, maybe I went too far there.
Hashtag me too.
Let's see. So Leo
If
says that.
Francisco's still watching, I think he'll love that comment. I think he's dying laughing.
Leo said the new trend of naming wheels is all good. Just veteran will have to rethink its naming as there are no more cool U.S. tank names. Honestly, the Commander, that's why I really thought it was theirs. Because it's not a tank, but it's along those lines of strong names. So when I saw it and heard it, I said, damn, veterans coming out with two wheels back to back. They're doing a Begode kind of thing now. So
I think if if Veteran is looking for a new name for their third wheel and they want a strong name, I'm fully willing to throw Mick into the hat. I mean, if you want a strong name.
Well, I mean, they could always call it the Black Cobra. I'd be okay with it. I'll
Ooh.
sign. I'll give you that license. Go for it.
You're very close to hitting on potential concepts that came about for the S20 there, but we'll talk about that another time.
Okay. Let's see. Scroll down. I'm gonna skip a few. Sorry, people. Fifth floor walk up. Ooh, Adventure Man's talking about he lives on a fifth floor walk up. Oh man, pulling a wheel up 5 flights. Ooh. How many flights was
Man.
yours, Mickey?
I'm only on the second floor, which is so it's like a flight. So like that is a real consideration for sure. Like if I used to live on the fourth floor walk up years and years, like 10 years ago. But yeah, now if I was looking for a new apartment with my family and my wife was like, "Oh, I love this apartment, but it's on the fifth floor walk up," I'd be like, "It's out. There's no way. Not unless they let me build like a ramp
A
inside
ramp.
there or something."
Yeah. You
Yeah.
could just ride up and down. Yeah. Leo brings up a very good point here. He said there's a huge issue today with international freight. Freights from China have gone up 200%. He's absolutely right. I've seen some of the pricing differences and I was floored. I'm like, how does anyone make any money right now? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well, I mean, this
nuts.
is so interesting because I think I heard a friend of mine, I don't know the price points, but he said something like, he's like, I know a guy could put anything on a pallet for you for like $2,000. You could fill up a pallet for like $2,000. Now it's like
Yeah.
20 grand
Hmm.
to fill up a pallet full of stuff. So it's like,
Nuts.
and the sort of the like excuse is a COVID, but I don't buy it. That's so much more. It's like I said, trying to finally figure out capitalism.
Oh, it is
You know what I mean?
legitimately 100%. Yeah, it's they especially when there's a reason, like you said, they're using COVID as a reason, and that's what they do. And I'm like, no, that's not the reason. I'm sorry. If I pay 4Gs, I'm getting an e-bike. That's what Scar King says. Yeah, that's what Mickey was saying. Just go for an e-bike if you're paying that much.
Also, if people are wondering about tomorrow when we hang out and do a live stream on my channel, it'll be like 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
Yes, and I always say, yeah, 11 New York time. Because I doing all the interviews I've done with people from all over, I tell them, yeah, Eastern. That's Eastern Standard Time. New York time. Oh, okay. You'd be surprised. I was
Well,
surprised a few times.
we were talking last night. It was like midnight. That's like the
Yeah.
most unopportune time to discuss time zones at midnight. You're
Yeah.
like, wait, because you were like, is it tomorrow, Mickey? I'm like, wait, is it tomorrow? No. But
Yeah.
you were like already into the new
Yeah.
day in your head. And I was like, this is like confusing because it's midnight.
So Mark Perjosa said e-wheels sells expensive wheels. That's it. No, everybody does. I give e-wheels credit. I mean, they follow the trend. Sometimes they set the trend, but it's if it's expensive, it's expensive, and it seems like everybody jumps on the same bandwagon. And like Mickey said, I give him credit because he's gonna try and help, But if everybody else is selling it at that, he's only going to go so far. That being said, we definitely are not sure if this new pricing setup is set by the the retailers here or set by
Right.
those that are giving them the deals over there. We don't know yet. I don't know if we will know.
Yeah. But I mean, look, for those of you that price is a huge thing, it's no secret that there are other ways to buy wheels that don't involve a dealer. But for
Yeah,
those of you that want the assurance of buying through a dealer that stuff will be taken care of, the dealers exist and that comes with a cost.
yeah. Let me give you my 2 cents on that as well as someone who's done both. Um, I love dealing with Jason at eWheels. Some people have have their own opinions, but I love dealing with Jason and I give him credit. And I'm gonna give him a shout out again. I haven't spoken to him in a while, and haven't dealt with him in a while because I haven't gotten anything. But um, I can tell you that I was 110% happy with every interaction I've had with eWheels, every deal that I've made with eWheels, and I've bought like two of two of my wheels from eWheels, and I would 100% tell people to buy from him. Um, I still do, and I also worked with Yuko, and they sent me a wheel to test out, and I worked with them and worked through them, and I love those guys as well. But there's a difference between buying from someone like one of them and buying it straight from the factory. I felt scared when that wheel cut out on me because I bought it straight from the factory through a group
Mm,
buy with a bunch of people. And I did feel very nervous because I didn't feel like I had backup if they decided to say, screw you. I,
right.
I felt like, well, what am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. I have no one to deal with. Luckily, Panda Archie um, is in conversation with them, and he made sure they're replacing the wheel. They're not replacing my shoulder, but they are replacing the wheel
Right.
and everything. So I'm happy at least for that. But I didn't like the feeling I had. Whereas when I bought from Jason, when I dealt with Yuko, I always felt like no matter what happens, I have backup because they're going to warranty, they're going to guarantee, they're going to take care of you, and they go the extra mile to make sure you're made whole if things
Right.
happen that are not your fault. So I can 100% give you guys that advice and guidance. So if you have a choice, you may save a couple bucks, but you have no backup, you have no recourse. So that's saying something. So
Yeah. I mean, and also now we have Kevin at Alien Rides.
true.
So
Yep. Alien rides.
And Kevin offers the best warranty in the market right now. He offers a 2-year warranty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I mean, there are several distributors, so I mean, I would just give you guys that caution. If you got a choice, I probably would just go through them. I mean, I know that I regret um, going the channel that I did, and I thought I was going to get it first. I thought a lot of things, and I had no way of making anything happen, and so I would have done it differently. Hindsight is 2020, as they say.
yeah.
All right, so unfortunately, guys, I do have to skip a lot of this because uh, there has been a lot of chat. So super chat here, thanks from James. I appreciate that, brother. Is there any sturdy wheels around 2000 that can handle 300 pounds? Asked companies, but they don't reply. At 300 pounds, I am going to honestly tell you that veteran Sherman, Monster Pro, previous Monster, I'm gonna steer you that way, just because of motor power, battery power, reliability when it comes to handling the heavier weight people. And no, none of them are around 2,000. They're higher than that. You are going to pay 2,800 or 3,000 unless you buy it used from someone. That's just where you're at. That's just how I feel. What do you think, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, and there's also something that no one ever talks about. I asked Jason years ago to integrate this, but I guess he just blew it off. But like, Um, a lot of times when we get the specs about wheels, they talk about like what is the weight limit for them, right? What they're
Hmm.
actually talking about is the like axle or pedal hanger weight limit. They're
Yes.
not actually talking about what the gyro can handle you. So it's not a popular opinion to say, but like if you're approaching the 300 mark, like it's gonna be a more dangerous, precarious scenario for you to be riding any of these things with a gyro, because the gyro has to be able to just, especially like, so if I screw up and I overlean or something like that, or fall into a pothole, much higher chance that the wheel is able to pull me out of it if I know what I'm doing when I'm riding.
Yep.
But if you're approaching the 300, I think it's your slim chance of it being able to save you in a extreme scenario like that. So but take that into consideration when they're saying a weight limit. It has nothing to do with the gyro being able to handle you. It has everything to do with, can the metal that you're
Yeah.
standing on hold you
Yeah.
up?
And to that point, I'll give you my previous story. You guys know about it. Most of you who have been following me know that on the 16X, I fell, scraped the crap out of my knees the one time I didn't put on my knee pads. And it was because I was at about 30% battery, maybe. I was doing about 25 miles per hour. I'm on a 16-inch wheel. The motor is only so strong. I'm 228, 230 pounds. I was seated on the wheel. Somebody was in my way. I'm going around them, and the wheel had to compensate for the gap in the bridge. It was a
Right.
big bump. So when it tried to compensate and the battery was low, and the voltage is pushing it because I'm heavy for the wheel, and it's trying to do all that. It couldn't do it all, and it beep 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 beep, boom, and it shut off. And yeah, it was a wrap. Now I realize that I'm pushing the limits of that smaller 16-inch wheel. The motor, everything, I'm already pushing it. It's a great wheel, and I love it to death. I was sad to sell it. I really was, but there were limits to it because of how big and how heavy I am and how much I'm
Mm.
doing on it. So you have to keep that, and you got to put that in consideration. You're going to be doing a lot on this wheel, so you got to give it some consideration. You can't just get, okay, can this handle me? Yes, but is it really handling you? Is the gyro going to really be able to compensate well for you?
Right.
Scary. It is scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good times ever to say that these things are very fun, but we should all try to live a healthy lifestyle too, as best you can. Go for a jog sometimes, even though I like to joke, who walks anymore? That's my running joke.
Why walk when you can ride? No, I do agree that we need to be healthier. And some people joke about that. Anthony, that's here, he used to joke he's getting in shape so he can ride the wheel because he wanted to lose more weight so he can ride better, ride faster, ride harder.
I
And
know a few guys who've done that.
yeah,
Francisco did that. He lost quite a lot of weight when he bought his wheel, got on it, and was like, "I'm too heavy," and so made a huge lifestyle change. And over the course of quite a few months, he lost a ton of weight, and so the wheel sort of motivated him
yeah,
to make his life better too. So
and that's a great thing. I mean, when this can have a positive effect on you, love it. That's, like I said, another reason why I love this community, because I feel like it's so positive. And any effect we can have on each other for the better is great. So EUC Therapy said $5 super chat. Oh, he sent $5 super chat. Thank you. And he said the hype be killing, waiting for the second and third generation or third batch. And I agree, guy. We agree. Second, third generation. I never did before though. I'm because
right.
I'm this guy. I want it now. I'm Tommy. I want it yesterday. You know what I mean? And so, oh, that's a great wheel. Put my order in. I want it now. And I'm like, do I though?
It's instead of being the Veruca Salt, who's the female character from Willy Wonka, you're the Tommy the Hustler. You're the male version. You're just like, I gotta have it now. Dollars down on every wheel.
Yeah. Oh, and I missed that question. I'm not gonna scroll back up and find it, but somebody asked, why is eWheels only asking for $100 for pre-order? At this point, there's so many wheels coming out. I think it's ingenious because if you put 100 on each wheel and you buy like several of them, I mean, that's great. The
Right.
pre-orders, basically you just putting your hand up. Yeah, I want one.
I feel like
So
back in the day, we only paid $50 in the
yeah.
past,
Well,
like
I mean,
before
it was
everything got crazy.
yeah. Then it was 500. I was like, ooh. I was like, okay, I really better. I love this wheel. I hope
Oh yeah.
the 16X. I was like, I better love this wheel.
My guess is that the hero, this is complete conjecture, so take it to the bank as far as it just being a rumor from me, but is that Jason has no faith in the hero, and
Uh
so I think that's why the price is so high, to price you out of buying it, because he thinks it's going to be a disaster.
huh.
That's my guess.
Well, okay, we're not speculation, people. We're not
Of course,
speaking for him. We're
complete
just
speculation.
just saying. So, mic'd it off. Wasabi, Cobra, Cobra, and Mick. Great to see you guys. Give a shout out to my crew, the Cleveland E Riders from Ohio. What's up, Cleveland E Riders? Good to see you guys. Glad you're watching. Welcome. Francisco says, I'll test them. Bring them. Okay, Francisco. I'm just going to direct you back to my previous shoulder video. Yeah, Leo says try learning parkour. Trust me, Leo, parkour wouldn't have helped.
Just it's out of the blue, guys. It's just kind of like there's nothing you can do.
Think about how many times you've heard the beeps. The beeps have already gone by, and you go, "Oh shit, I just heard the beeps." But by the time you think, "Oh shit," there was no beeps, no tilt back,
Yeah.
no warning, no nothing. It was
But you were right, there was no
instantaneous.
beeps. You had a board failure.
Yeah, it was instantaneous.
Way
I
different than expecting it. Like,
yeah,
I
you hear
didn't
beep
know
beep
I'm
beep beep
pushing
beep.
the limits.
You know when people go, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," because they hear the beeps and they're like, "Oh, it may cut out." They're already prepared. When it's
Right.
instantaneous, there's just nothing. The guys who were
Right.
riding behind me asked me, "I said, what the fuck happened? Your wheel just went dark." And I go, "I don't know. I don't know."
You're like, I don't know, guys. I have no idea.
I'm like, trying to hold my arm, and I'm like, I can't. It's like flopping around. I was like, oh my God. And the wheel never turned on again. I'm like, what?
That's same thing when my MCM5 did the same thing. It was like it I've cut out on a wheel before, and like it usually turns back on most
Yeah.
times.
Yep.
But like, yeah, MCM5 was just nothing would happen, and the wheel was like hard to turn. Was the Monster Pro like that? It was like hard to turn the wheel itself.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They were. You
Oh,
could see them with two hands moving it across the street. So
oh,
I think
that's
it
right.
was
You weren't
hard.
picking it up at that point.
No, I wasn't picking up nothing.
Yeah,
Not even myself. I was like, I couldn't get off the
that's a
ground.
general clue the board failed is
Yeah,
if the
yeah,
wheel has friction just to
yeah.
spin it inside the shell.
Well, they really thought they could figure it out. Panda took it apart, and he thought he was gonna find something. He couldn't find anything. He's like, I have no idea why this failed. He said usually there's a spot or a burn or a something you can tell something happened. He said, I don't know. And then he talked to them in China. He was like FaceTiming them and showing them and video, and they're like, just send it back. We can't figure it out. They have no idea.
Yeah.
So
This is why it's exciting to see some of these newer, wheels. Hopefully they have more safety in mind. Like, the V12 has a lot of safety, but one of the things that they added on the firmware that I'm on is like, there's like this battery voltage safety thing. So you can turn it off, but you have the option to basically, if you pull too much voltage, instead of it burning the board and you cutting out,
mm-hmm,
it'll just limit how much you can perform, if that
mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah,
So
smart.
it says like to keep it on, especially once you hit below 50%. They recommend if you're going up a hill or you're going very fast or whatever, turn this thing on. It's on by default when you get the wheel, but you can turn it off. But keep it on because it'll just weaken your performance in certain peak areas where maybe you're trying a little too hard. But depending on, unless you're trying to win a race or something for the next race that I put on,
Or
it's
rally
gonna
that we're
be
putting on here.
yeah, or it's just going to be better for you to just might as well keep yourself and your control board safe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's a good plan. And all these things, people keep saying, coming up with ideas. Can't they do a redundancy? Can't they do this and that? Well, as long as they're doing something and coming up with different ideas for safety, I appreciate it. Whether they all work out 100%, they may not, but I want you thinking about it. you know, my safety is definitely should be on your mind. So, Francisco said something
Why?
that's, yeah, so true. Everyone has a plan until you get punched. So true. So true. Like, as someone who's, you know, trained and fought a lot of people, everybody comes in with that look that I got you. I'm going. This is it. This is it. And then the minute you go, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like you see the look on their face. So when people tell me, "Oh, you should have did this. You should have did that," I'm like, dude, when you hit the pavement and you had no expectation, and it hit you and knocked the wind out of you, and
Mm,
you can't move. There was no parkour. There was no slide, flip. There was none of that. It was
right.
instantaneous. Trust me. If there was something I could have done, I would have done it. But you know, let's see. All right, scrolling. All right, so I am. All right, guys. So again, I'm sorry if I missed your messages. I don't want to drag on too much tonight. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the new wheels. And, oh, okay. Vinny's at the bottom. He said, Black Cobra, I feel bad for you, but also don't feel bad. Ha ha. I've been telling everyone to stay away from Gotway since my Nicola. Well, hey, you can say that, but how are you going to be a wheel rider and just not ride one of their wheels? Not that you got to have their wheel as your, you know, primary wheel, but you're going to ride one of their wheels. They make too many performance wheels. You're going to ride a Gotway. I mean, at some point. So I know that it sucks that there's issues, but again, it's a machine that there's it's not the only company that has issues. That's for sure. It's just the company that broke me, but you know.
And many others.
So
But
I'm
I mean, I think I heard that the numbers, like for their QC at least, is sort of like King Song has like a 60% QC rating, like
okay.
of, and then like In Motion maybe a 65, but Gotway's got like 30 or 40. So so there is a heavy weight in that direction, right? I don't think we have the numbers yet on Veteran.
Yeah.
But so look, these people aren't wrong, and it's fun to make memes and jokes about it. You should just be aware, right? Like
Yeah.
like someone once, they're so smart, put it like what we ride are like ultralight planes. I didn't know what that was till someone said it. They explained what that was to me. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't know, look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But this completely what this stuff is. It's just like DIY airplanes that probably shouldn't be flying in the sky, but they are, and
Yep.
these crazy people are flying them.
Yep.
That's exactly what this stuff is as of now. There are companies clearly, King Song, I think, and In Motion are trying to make themselves like an Apple of the, which is great. They're not
Yep.
there yet, but they're trying to get there.
Yes.
So
I
so
agree
that's
with that.
good.
Yep. And I love that. That's one of the reasons why I love my V11 still, because when I look at it, I feel like it's a quality product. And you said it right. They're trying to be the Apple of the wheel industry because they do go above and beyond trying to think of safety measures, trying to think of quality measures, and not as much quantity. And
Mm.
I agree with that 100%. I wish everyone would look at it that way because honestly, I would prefer having less wheels come out if they're all safer. Would you agree?
Of course. I mean, I would have safer no matter what the cost is.
Yeah.
But also like, or just like a good wheel as well, like, right? Because we said like Gotway came out with 5 wheels. Like, what if they took all that energy and money and put
Put
it
it
into
into
just
one.
one wheel? Like, even if it was like the Monster Pro, I
Yep.
would not have been a fan personally, but at least it probably would have made a better wheel for someone like you, right?
Yep. Yep. Legit. Perfectly said. Tommy again. Tommy said, "Black Cobra is back. I pray that no one in this chat has a board failure." Yeah, I do too. I pray that no one in our entire industry, our entire community, has a board failure, because it is in no way anything you ever want to experience. But we are still riding equipment that is technically experimental. Um, you know, it's not. These are not things that are commonplace. These are still things that are being created, being experimented on, being modified at a high rate this is not, solid technology that is everywhere yet. This is technology that looks good on paper and it works good when it all works well, but we're not there yet where it's commonplace. So we're going to have issues. I understand that.
Well, I think I need to leave you. I need to go. King Song wants to test out our stream before tomorrow. So
Okay. Well, I'm going to be ending it in a minute here anyway, but I will let you go. I thank you very much, Mickey. I appreciate it once again, brother. You jumped in when everybody was looking to talk, and I think that this is what we've been needing. We've been missing our conversations, so I thank you for coming. Everybody, let's give a round of applause to Mickey. And I will see you tomorrow, brother. So let me know how that works out. Send me a message later. Let me know if everything's still good and everything's still a go.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good night, man.
All right.
All right, guys. I want to thank Mickey again, and I thank all of you for tuning in. I want to scroll back and start answering questions, but I know if I do that, I'm going to stay a lot longer because I love talking with you guys. Leo says, Cobra, that counts, or what counts is that you're healing and riding again. Yes, Leo, 100%, man. I'm healing and riding again. I kind of needed the riding as part of the healing. A lot of people here on my end can't understand that when I say it, but I did feel depressed for a while, and knowing that I had these puppies here ready to ride and being able to get back on them, it helped. You guys helped a lot as well, all the positive messages. So again, I thank you again. I say it every time I come on and every time I'm in your presence. I tell you guys again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys helped me through all this crap because it wasn't easy. Cynthia said, yep, one wheel at a time. So Vinny says, I think according to eWheels, King Song Technology put out the least amount of wheels with issues. Yeah, I heard that too. And King Song's right there. I feel great about them as well. I just, for whatever reason, I feel the best about Emotion. I think that they do the most when it comes to QC and quality. But I know that King Song is right there too. Those are the top two, I think, in my opinion. Francisco says, peace, everyone. Again, I thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks. EUC says, great show. Yes, there's a video circulating on the S20 that Newbie says. I'm not sure what video it is, but I guarantee you tomorrow we are going to see video. We are going to see specs. We are going to see behind the scenes. Mickey's directly working with King Song. So I'm happy to be a part of that tomorrow as long as everything works well. And tune in tomorrow. We will talk some more, guys. Thank you again. I appreciate all of you. I truly do. I don't say that lightly. And I'm energetic and enthusiastic, but I'm genuine. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. So thank you again, people. You guys have a fun-filled, fantastic evening. And I'll see you guys in the next show. Until then, this is your boy Black Cobra. Deuces.